How's it going, everyone? Hold on. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to something a little bit different. Not actually doing an article to this. It's going to be a reaction video, but before we do that, we're going to go over this article on GoNintendo.com. I thought this would be something fun. You know, it's not Switch related, it is Nintendo related, so I decided to do a video on it. And this is on Go Nintendo. It's a website, a news site for video games. Get a close look at Nintendo's single-screen DS used for Nintendo Zone distribution. I've read this a couple times, so this will be the third time I'm reading it. So, basically, let's get into it. Do you remember the Nintendo Zone service? For those who don't or weren't playing games back then, the Nintendo Zone's download service was an extension of the DS download station where users could access content, third-party data, and other services from a hotspot or download station. You would find these Nintendo Zone distribution spots in locations like retailers, and you could connect them with your DS to grab demos, trailers, and more. And then basically this is just the video showing that. I do remember like going to GameStop, and I also remember, I believe it was back when I didn't have a GameStop in my own hometown, but we used to have an EB Games. And I remember going there, and then GameStop bought EB Games, basically, and then, you know, all the GameStops in the US became GameStop, and up in Canada, they all became EB Games. That's supposed to be what happened. Anyway, yeah, so I don't remember, like, this specific device, so this one, I'm not sure if it was in North America, but I do remember, like, going to the store and playing, like, demos on the DS. But the funny thing is, the demos on the GameStop DS's, or just any, like, Target or whatever, you know, Walmart DS's. And I'm not talking about 3DS, but DS. I remember playing demos with 2 screens. So, but, yeah, so I don't remember this one specifically. Anyway, let's get into the video. I'll also post a link to the article as well as the video down below if you choose to watch it without me reacting to it. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, if you choose to do that, feel free to click off this video. I'm not going to be offended if you do that, if you just don't want to hear me react. And if you're still here, we're going to get into it.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Elliot here, and welcome back to another video. This video is very cool. I am extremely excited. This isn't something that's been extensively covered
Look at his
on
shirt
the internet, let alone
and the
on YouTube.
background.
In fact, I think I'm the first person to make a video on this. This right here is a single-screened Nintendo DS.
I like his hat.
Now, before someone starts in the comments saying, well, the DS stands for double screen.
Or dual screen, whatever, but...
Do you think I don't know this? Look, don't shoot the messenger, alright?
It's like the Nintendo 1DS.
With one screen. And I'm about to show you...
Remember that? That wasn't real, by the way.
Before we do that, this video has been sponsored by Sendico. Without them, genuinely, this wouldn't have been possible. Sendico have been supporting the channel for quite some time. They are a proxy service that allow you to buy things from Japanese sites such as Yahoo Auctions, Mercury,
Yahoo.
Say that one. Basically, it allows you to buy things in Japan where you couldn't previously. You need a Japanese address to buy from all of those sorts of things.
So they kind of buy it for you, I guess.
Buy those things on your behalf, store them in their warehouse, and send you one package. It's absolutely fantastic. There are a very small amount of
I'll have to look that up.
fees per item that you buy. And I use them all the time, sponsored or unsponsored, I genuinely do. So big thank you to them for sponsoring this video. Please check them out in the link below. So, without any further ado, let's roll the intro.
Alright. I actually have never watched this guy, by the way.
So this
The
thing
retro
was an auction, and when it started, it was really cheap, and it went for quite a lot of money. I think I ended up paying almost £400 for it. So again, big thank you to Sendico.
What did that say in US dollars,
really
though?
Cheap, and it went for quite a lot of money. I think I ended up paying almost £400 for it.
It's not gonna say.
Again, big thank you to Sendico. Genuinely, without them, this would not be possible. There's no way I can afford to buy these sorts of things. It ended up
So that would be roughly around 535 US dollars.
40 or 50 different bids put on it, and I just kept going because I knew that this would make such a great video for all of you guys, and it was Sendico's money. And yeah, look at it. Here it is. Does that look like a Nintendo product to you? What on earth are we?
It reminds me of the.
There's the charging port.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of this. It's not, but you know.
Very exciting. And then look, there's the Nintendo logo. This is an official Nintendo product. But what is it? I hear you scream. Well, massive thank you to Jamie. He is a Patreon of mine. He is someone who is very well known in the development hardware world, and he has actually been able to show us this working, because unfortunately I can't. Why is that? Well, this thing is a Nintendo Zone distribution box. What is Nintendo Zone? Nintendo Zone was an access point. So the idea of it was that you went into a McDonald's, was actually one that was licensed, a Best Buy or
okay.
Nintendo stores. You'd bring your DS and you'd be able to get downloadable content online. So previously, this was done in a different way. This was done by using these tiny little Nintendo cartridges.
Now I know I should watch the video before making a comment, but you know that's kind of the point of a reaction. It could just be that when the DS first came out, that you know, I was like eight or 9 years old, something like that. I think it was 8. It's something. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter. It could be that they did have them only in popular areas, or they did have them for a short time, and maybe that's why I just don't remember. But whatever. Anyway, let's get on with the video.
And they would plug into retail regular Nintendo DS's, and that would emit a signal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I shouldn't comment. That's why I shouldn't comment.
Cartridges. It couldn't be updated or changed.
Till it's over.
That was the way it was. And they released a bunch of them. I think there was.
I'm going to see a picture of that again.
It was already on those cartridges. It was fixed on those emit a signal.
Okay. That's why I don't remember it.
Now,
so they probably had it hidden or something, or I just didn't pay enough attention when I was a kid.
On those cartridges, it couldn't be updated or changed. That was the
16 years ago or whatever.
And they released a
or
bunch
20 years
of
ago,
them.
whatever.
There was almost 20 of them or something. Jamie is on his way to collecting all of them, so he's been.
No, it would have been 4. No, I was like 8 or 9 when the DS came out.
They must have thought this is probably not the most effective way of doing this. So what they decided to do was strip back the DS in the next version, which was Nintendo Zone. So it was Nintendo Download Station, and now we're on to Nintendo Zone, which is what this is. And they stripped back the actual hardware, and they changed the software. So instead of having the dedicated fixed content on a cartridge, you had a cartridge which connected to a server using the Nintendo DS's, or at least whatever this thing is, hardware. It connected to a server, and then you could download the content from that. So it was all a very complex thing, and unfortunately those servers don't exist anymore. But using the Download Station cartridges, which Jamie has, he was actually able to take some footage for me showing what this thing would have done back in the day. So you can see that he is downloading a demo game.
Mario Kart DS.
He's also downloading a...
Reminds me of the Nintendo channel on the Wii. Not Wii U, the Wii. Where you could download DS games temporarily. Which was kind of cool.
And it's a very cool little device.
Is
I
that
can totally
Platinum?
see why they
Pokemon
want to do
Platinum?
this, and it would get people into the store when a new game comes out. They can make an announcement. People can go in and they can try it out. A very cool idea. So, as you can see, there are 2 ports here which are screwed down. This one is for an SD card, and unfortunately, there's no SD card in there. I don't know if that was ever used. Jamie said he doesn't know anyone who's ever had an SD card with theirs. But if you unscrew this little piece of plastic here, you'll see there is a game inside of it. Now, this game is that Nintendo Zone cartridge that I was referring to. And if we actually take a regular DS, you can see that you do not need to have this specific hardware.
I wonder
now,
what would happen if you put a game that with 2 screens on there.
DS on, it will bypass all of the retail stuff and go straight to the game, or at least the Nintendo Zone thing, whatever it is. You can see
Interesting.
it goes straight into the software, and it's also upside down. And you should see in a second this little screen pops up, which is obviously something that this cannot do because it hasn't got another screen. But we'll take a look at this in a second. So you can see there it says cannot connect to the WLAN, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do on any of this. No button.
You hold down the screen and get this.
Like that.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking, right, well that's a shame. I can't really do anything with this. I can't show it working. All I can do is show the hardware, which I still haven't done, and I know I'm going to do that in just a second. But I was
Still kind of cool though.
very wrong. Very, very wrong indeed. I thought, okay, let's take out that cartridge which bypasses stuff and see what happens. And let me show you what happens. So this thing is very bare bones. It has 2 LEDs, it has a screen, and that's it. Obviously it has a charging port. It doesn't even have a battery. It's literally AC only. So let me just plug this thing in and see what happens.
Well, if it's meant for stores.
Hang on.
I don't remember like McDonald's have. It could be just that it's
turning on.
Japanese.
But what's that? It's upside down.
Upside down.
Let's swap it round. That's why that thing was.
It could just be like, maybe like airports or something. I don't know. Like, you know. Anyway.
Upside down before. Here we go. Is that not the DS loading menu just in Japanese?
I think so. Yes.
That is the DS home menu, the DSi home menu.
In
Look
Japan.
at it. It's right here. It is literally
Oh, it's a touchscreen.
right here. The regular retail DSi home menu. What is going on? Look, you can access the shop. You can access the DS download player. You can even access PictoChat.
Didn't they? They did shut down the DSi shop, didn't they?
Settings in here to change the language. All of the menus seem to be the same. Besides, there's 2 missing from here, and then there's also 2 missing from back here as well. So I don't know if this is a different sort of software, one that's like just got less.
It'd be interesting if they still had the DSi shop open, if you would be able to do anything with it. I don't know. I don't know.
But it doesn't have a lot of things that the retail one does have, so I'm not sure. So where this thing gets
Animal Crossing
interesting is when we load a game. So let's load a game. Look at that. Animal Crossing Wild World.
Oh, it was called Wild. Okay, I thought in Europe it was called something else. I'm probably thinking of Animal Crossing, not New Horizons. I was gonna say Monster Hunter for some reason. No, Animal Crossing City Folk. In Europe, just outside North America, it's called Let's Go to the City. I don't know about the Japanese version. I don't know what the Japanese version is called, but I believe in Europe it's called Let's Go to the City. North America it's City Folk. I believe in Australia it's also Let's Go to the City. Just a little side note.
Retail games, it has no buttons to input into the system itself.
So you can't play anything.
Speaker.
You can play Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood.
It doesn't have a stylus holder, which is what I'm the most livid about. But look, it works absolutely perfectly, and the benefit of Animal Crossing is that you can play a lot of the game without.
That was a BioWare, by the way. Sonic Chronicles was.
The bottom screen to input into everything. So yeah, look at that. I'm playing a game on this weird little DS zone thing. So I then started thinking, right, what is inside this thing? Is it some sort of custom PCB that has enough of a DS in it that it can read this game and do the things that this game requires doing? Or is this a DSi motherboard? So I recently did a repair on this Nintendo DSi, which is in a transparent shell. And it wasn't until I started looking at it and thinking, this thing is just a DSi. It is quite literally just a DSi that they have rehoused. If you take a look at this, because it's translucent, you can see there's a brick connector here and a separate PCB, which I've got right here. And if you take that away, look, you've got exactly what's left. And everything lines up. You know, you've got the cartridge port there.
Interesting.
You've got the, the input there for the AC.
Probably what it is.
You've got the SD card slot. It's literally a DSi inside of a brand new housing that they've made specifically for this. They've removed the buttons,
opened it up?
They've removed the top screen, they've removed the speaker, they've removed the camera, the microphone. They've just got the motherboard. I was also speaking to Jamie, and he's told me that there's a separate PCB up here in this corner. There's also something going on for the battery as well. It's like bypassing the battery. Jamie even said that it still has all of the connectors to add a screen in, to add the buttons in, to add the cameras in and everything. So it's literally just a DSi, but it is bloody cool. I'm going to go back home before Recessi kicks off at me for just turning this thing off. What an absolute crazy thing. I honestly cannot believe this thing existed, and I'd never heard of it or seen it or anything like that. They've clearly done this to cut costs. They cut costs by doing it via a server so that they could just update the server, the content on the server.
I knew
They wouldn't have
I knew there was a way where like when I went to GameStop, I know that there was like ways to do that. And the reason is I don't know if I was supposed to see this, but I remember going into GameStop and every once in a while I was able to see like all this script would come up when I was booting a game up. I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but once in a while I was able to see that.
continuously
I mean, it's
roll
not
these cartridges with the downloadable content on
really a
them.
big deal. It's probably not like I'm gonna know anything like I shouldn't
Not
know
using
legally,
retail
you know. But
units, and they're using a very stripped back version. I'm really happy that I have this in my collection because it is a very obscure little piece of history. It's a gorgeous little.
I assume it turns off once you unplug it since there's no battery.
I am really, really happy with it. Massive thank you to Sendico for sponsoring this video. Huge
Oh, that's
thank
it?
you to Jamie for all of the help making this video.
That was an interesting video, actually.
It does well and people like it. Let's shoot for 5,000 likes. If we get
Yeah. So this is what's his name? His name is the Retro Future. Oh, and he's verified. I'm going to subscribe to him. Give the video a like. Yeah. So that was actually pretty interesting. Let's watch the rest of it.
I'll open this thing up on my second channel, Elliot Cole. That'll be up in the card. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.
That was kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, so I actually just realized this was posted back on December 10th, but the article's pretty new, yesterday. So, yeah. Like I said before, I'm not going to do anything on, well, I didn't say WordPress per se, but I just said I'm not doing an article. I wanted to do something a little different for once. Once in a while, I do stuff like this. Usually, if I do news stories, I'll actually write the story myself. I'll have sources and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. I'm also going to include the next video. I don't think I'm going to do a reaction to that because I don't want to be doing too many of these because I much prefer to do reaction videos to Nintendo Directs and whatnot. Yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the video. Hopefully you have enjoyed. For more information, I'll leave links in the description if you want to see the website and whatnot. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.